see right now, without LeBron, Lakers are struggling.
Let me tell you about a team I hate, all right? I know the Dallas Cowboy fan is here, so I had to make sure he knew how much I hate this team.
I'm ready.
I've often said that the people who run baseball, they try very hard to ruin it.
I'm from Brooklyn. I don't have a problem saying it to his face. Oh, I'm from Brooklyn. Hey, get any.
You're listening to the Captain Jack Sports Show on Northeast Streaming Sports.
Hello.
Up. I was muted. I said we got so much to talk about tonight.
Yeah.
Screw it. I'm cutting the intro. It is the Raiders report card with the very, very hard professor. You know, the one that will definitely, you ain't skating on this exam when you are going up against Miss Peggy. Miss Peggy, how you doing there, hon?
Oh, I'm doing fine, except my lipstick is.
I thought you were bleeding for a second. I saw that. I'm like, did somebody
probably be trying to shovel down my food in between all my things that I have to do today. But how are you, Captain?
Other than running around getting medicine for my trip upcoming, then I had to go to two places. I had to go to two clinics, the early clinic and then the one on base. And then I had to go. I was on the phone with insurance and people doing glass and other people doing. And then what else? It was a cluster of foxtrot, and that's all I'm going to say. And I still got to drop off my scooter to my airbrush guy. That's tomorrow's. I couldn't take care of it because there's no way in hell. And I'm gonna put no way in hell. Cross fingers that I go back to Vegas with a scooter that's blue and black. It's got to have the right stuff on it. And thank God I just saw a touchdown by the Falcons. Screw you, fake Pirates. Screw you, fake Pirates. Because I got to watch this while I'm going on here. So, again, hey.
I got a problem with the Bucks anyway. They put me out of the survivor pool. couldn't even beat Denver.
Yeah.
I was done after that. Yeah. But we need to get right on it. And I can't help but just brag and I'm so happy for our O-line. I mean, can you think of a time where you have seen an instantaneous improvement 1 week to the next? Just by insertion of a couple of people.
Yes and no. Because we saw the improvement. And by the way, what did I say when I said, well, wait till you insert JPJ and Glaze into the lineup? And that was the hooray. The shit came when Parham went out and
Why?
Whitehair went back.
Oh, that's what happened. Right. And you see, that's where us not paying attention in the offseason to that offensive line situation for whatever reason. It was a new guy, a new system, but us not paying attention. We needed to replace both guards and we needed to upgrade. Okay. It wasn't just a replacement, it was a serious upgrade. And we didn't. The problem with Parham, 285 pounds. I mean, I don't know how you play that position right next to the center at 285 pounds. Oh, by the way, unless you are the center. And then let us go back to the real situation. Who was it in Raiders Central that decided James was worth a 3-year contract?
Well,
can you explain that to me?
No, it's one of those things where the Raiders will continuously have bad contracts for people that don't deserve them. Don't get me started.
Why? I mean, and this is something we're going to probably talk about some more about the chronic dysfunction within our organization, and we don't seem to have a handle on it. You know?
Yeah.
I don't understand why the O-line wasn't the number one thing to deal with in the offseason.
Well, I can only hope that as my, and I'm going to give him some due credit here, Sharisa Alakan, aka Black Thanos, who calls our new GM Tom Fiasco. I love the name. You know, I love his monikers for him, Tom Fiasco. And I know that you are a very big Telesco fan. So I'm going to pit you against him at the end of the season and into next year. And I'm just going to sit back and do this. I'm just going to watch him and grab my popcorn because I know that you're a Telesco fan and he does not like Telesco. And I'm just going to see at the end of the year who is correct on what the entrenchment and the upward or the basic lateral or maybe downward spiral of the Raiders roster-wise is. So I'm gonna set you up for that because I know that's gonna be fun to watch. But
look, if we want to start that argument right now, already I see that our bench strength is deep.
Yeah, no, you're there. And I agree with you because how many people were on the sidelines or not even there? I like the fact that I found out that Crosby was not even in the building because they knew that he would be jumping around and sapping his strength for his rehab or for his rest that he needed, and he is not due to play in Denver. By the way, quick offshoot, folks, because I got this from my Bronco friend who is all into this. He said that their field is not going to have that ugly horse on it at halftime this year for our game because it's alumni week. And they're going back to the 1977 field, which is where they won the AFC Championship game. So it's going to have Broncos on the end zone like they did, or maybe Denver, whatever. However it looked in 77 is the way the field is going to look like this Sunday because they want to kick our ass so bad that they're going to resort to alumni weekend and they're pulling out all the stops. And we'll see what happens.
Well, look at what Denver's done. I mean, this is the thing that a team needs to do when they're getting a young quarterback prepared and developed and up to speed. The defense had to step up. And it's going to be a long process to get Bo Nix to the place where they want him to be. Already Vance Joseph has delivered. And we shall see whether that trend continues. But I want to talk about our defense too. I mean, I could not believe Graham letting go of the 4-2-5 and going to the 4-3-4 and us seeing Captain Eichenberg, saw a little bit of Gainer, saw a little bit of Bernie. I mean, we started seeing that bench strength that I'm talking about. I mean, Paul Mao steps in for Epps, who's gone for the year. I expect to see more. I also,
he's injured this week again, right? Paul Mao's already on the injury report, so that he stepped in adequately.
You were going to see about the depth that we have on, and that's, to me, is the sign that somebody in the front office at least knows a little bit about talent. Okay, not a lot, but compared to what we had.
Oh, from what we had, it was like going from chicken salad to chicken shit, and now we're at least getting some chicken salad. I don't like chicken salad.
I mean, the guys. I mean, our drafting has been so pitiful in the last 10 years that guys that should have been backups were starters. The ones, by the way, that we could keep healthy. Some people never even saw the field, got drafted, and they never even saw the field, or we only saw them a year or two. I mean, shin splints? Really, Conley? Karen Conley? I mean, the same thing happened, even though LePavius turned out to be a pretty good prospect. He didn't play his rookie year. Why? Bunions.
Wait a second. I got bunions. I can show you mine.
I mean, come on. Every Raider interview at draft day the first thing they need to say to guys, take off your shoes and socks. So we can see them feet. I think that, we will see I think we're going to see the Telesco infusion. At least the guy knows talent. He's good to pick coaches, but he didn't pick this coach. So Pierce is not on him. Okay?
Yeah, that's true.
And so what we have now is a situation, but I want to talk about how the defense seems to always figure it out. They figure out how to keep people out of the end zone, and they come up with those plays. Thank you, Morig, for that opportunistic INT, right?
Yes,
in the fourth quarter. And of course, Spillane, we need to clone him. Okay? At least twice. He's coming into his own as a pro. And somebody was nudge, Pro Bowl, take a Pro Bowl look at this guy. Okay? Mm-hmm. That's how good he's playing. He's always around the ball, smart and aggressive. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what we need more of. And I'm glad Marvin Lewis is on that sideline, encouraging our players. And by the way, Captain, what do you think about our corner play? The ones that didn't get sat down for the first quarter.
The ones not named Jack Jones who got what do you like in high school when the coach wants to do something to you, he sits you for a quarter. Hey, mm-hmm. I don't care if it's a high school move. It's a move to basically grab your attention and put a flame under your ass. And I hope that was, received by Jack Jones, because he's been Jones and Pierce have been pretty much tied at the hip since high school. Mm-hmm. So maybe it was the move that was needed. But I saw Jacorian Bennett playing well. I know that Jones came in and especially in the second quarter, when we needed to get that stop, because they marched down the field the first drive like as hot knife. I mean, excuse me, a scalding knife through soft butter. Anyway, that it was zoom. It was quick, and I'm like, man, I just barely got in my seat, and it was hard to watch.
I mean, but bear in mind now, Cleveland came in really down a few horses. They didn't have Chubb, right? And Njoku, really their only decent receiver, was out. Both their tackles are out, okay? And they're working with bench strength there. And let's face it, for all my Cleveland Brown fans that think you have wide receivers, you don't, okay? Anytime the Denver Broncos tell a guy like Judy, we really, you can go somewhere else. We're really not trying to keep you. The Denver Broncos with a receiving core that you can find on a high school team. And then, of course, they got Cooper.
who did get a touchdown for about 3 seconds.
When it's
he
easy,
did have a touchdown.
Cooper always shines when it's easy, when there's a breakdown in coverage, right? Or somebody's only
or a holding call.
Exactly.
Or a holding call, which is
that's the only reason that called back. But the thing is, I'm talking about Cooper's work ethic. If it's easy, he's going to bust one wide open. Of course. If he's single covered, he'll catch 12 passes that day. Make it hard on him, double cover him, keep his lanes clogged up, do the bump and run on him. He's not there anymore. So we were playing a Cleveland team that pretty much, but that's good because that gives people a chance to get reps and gets better. And, oh, by the way, let's go back to the O-line. We had a running game, Captain.
Well, in comparison to what we have had, yes, we did.
152 versus 30? What are you talking about? That's a five-fold increase. You're not
okay.
It's not enough.
Wait a second.
You want a King Henry type day, huh?
No. I'm just saying, if I'm dying of thirst in the Sahara and somebody throws me an avian battle, I'm very happy for that. And I think that that's kind of the comparison. We were starved or thirsty for running.
Pitiful. There has been no push on that O-line, no daylight, nothing what I call a wall of flesh. And it's even worse because they can't pass block either. They actually, they still need to work on that. But again,
they
just the fact that you finally had running room.
Right. They did have it when JPJ was playing left. Parham was playing right. And then when Parham went out, JPJ went from left to right.
Love that little tiny guy. Send him some bricks for me so we can get his weight up to 300. Then I might be happy.
He can have any of the extra stuff that I have in my fridge. He's more than entitled to it. Trust me on that.
Him up a little bit. I don't ask for much. Maybe about 15 more pounds. I'll take an undersized 300-pound guard. But 285, you're getting swallowed and blown up every play, and it's on film. You can see it.
Yeah,
he's
true.
Just being overwhelmed. That's why you see nothing, no daylight, and that's what poor little Zamir running in the wrong blocking scheme for his style. That's what he sees. Absolutely no daylight. We found daylight off tackle, though, didn't we? We found
he did.
Madison found it. Okay.
Yeah. Well, and while we're talking about the O-line, I really need to see a swap. I want to see more Madison, and the coach did say that he's going to get more touches. I mean, this was even before Zamir came up on the injury report, saying that Madison was going to get more touches because he's a one cut and go. That's what Madison is.
He's a ZBS guy, and for Getsy not to know that from game one is just so incredible to me. That he did not know that Zamir did not fit the blocking scheme that he and his O-line coach from the 49ers have imposed on that O-line. He had to know Zamir was not the right back. Why did he keep throwing him at a wall of flesh 3 straight games when he knew he was not the right kind of guy? It's not a ZBS guy. And, of course, people were just, apoplectic and with that fumble, but that's his second fumble. But this
that pissed me off.
I mean, this is a guy who is uncomfortable, knows he's out of his element. He gets his first chance to start in 3 years, and they change the game on him. And the bar, and now he's running in traffic where he needs lanes. Okay, and now he has to secure the football in a different way. everything has to change about Samir's style in order for him to last here.
Well, I want to let you, because I know that you're going to be at, and we'll get to those, and I know that hopefully we get Miss Peggy, because everybody's asking, and we're going to talk about because you've already made some comments about Mr. Adams, but we'll wait on that, folks. We'll get that at the very end.
Let me go back to Madison for just one more thing. What the Vikings fans keep telling me is he's not a starting back. He's not that guy that's going to carry the ball 20, 25 times a game, which means here we go again. Getsy slow on the uptake. I thought we were going to do running back by committee.
Yeah.
What happened to that?
I would like to see maybe Madison with the 12 to 15. Get Abdullah.
He's not your guy if you want a 20 to 25 carry back.
Well, that's what I'm saying. If you get him for 12 to 15 and he's decently fresh that way, and you use Zamir building up to where it's like, dude, get a set. Remember how glasses and actually a hat. Oh, okay. Remember these when the guy from Major League and by the way, these are the same glasses. When he put these on, his vision improved. Okay, whatever it is, if it's the skull on him or whatever, get yourself a set of glasses that works, and get your sight improvement, and have Abdullah come in, and maybe we can throw more to lobby out of the backfield, as a gadget play things as well. But spin the guys around, use all of the backs. And I saw that they were using McAllister as well at the running back position.
You see, this is what we've been asking for Getsy. And I'll tell you another thing, and something I commented on in another show. We have players that are what is commonly known as the Swiss Army knife. I'm talking about Bowers. I'm talking about Turner. I'm talking about Jacoby Meyer. I'm talking about Tucker. Guys that can do more than what their title or position is on the roster. These are guys that you can run. These are guys you can line up in a slot. These are guys you can line up outside as wide receivers. All of them. Okay? And, of course, you can run them for formations in the backfield. And, oh, by the way, did everybody notice when you run away from your problem child in the middle, take it outside, marvelous things happen. And it's just that for me, Getsy is way too slow on the uptake. We need a guy that can recognize things between quarters, not between games. I mean, we might get there.
Yeah. Hey, I'm in section 126, row 6, seat 1. Any game that they want, any home game except for Steelers upcoming, unfortunately, because I won't be there, so I'll be in Kansas. Any game upcoming that I'm there in Vegas, hey, I'm right there, right where they come out of the tunnel. I will be more than happy to impart my wisdom, especially because I'm an offensive lineman too by trade. I will do that in a minute, but they haven't asked me yet.
I know. And I know the last couple of weeks, speaking of offensive line, I mean, we've been talking about Colton Miller. He must have heard me talking about him so bad, about him blocking with his hands. That's because getting left, they said, oh, his footwork is bad. I'm like, what footwork? He's spending most of his time backpedaling so he could get his hands in front of him. That's because he doesn't want to use that shoulder and that shoulder body.
Yeah.
Right. He still doesn't. Now, I did not see that Sunday. I saw him finally setting his feet. And you're an offensive lineman, you can't get your body to leverage if your feet are backpedaling backwards, okay? You have to set, and then you have to lean in, and you have to use your arms as well as your hands, right? To get that force on a guy to at least keep him off your quarterback 5 seconds. I mean, am I asking for a lot? Is 5 seconds too long? I mean, Cap, you can tell me when 5 seconds long.
That is a straight line that I am not going to use.
I mean,
I can do 5 seconds.
I mean, if you can't last 5 seconds before you're releasing your guy and letting him just run your quarterback down.
Yeah.
Also, did people see how they actually were having Minshew kind of roll outside?
Yeah. He was rolling out away from the pressure. Yeah.
Well, of course.
We were yeah.
Why did it take 3 games to figure it out?
I think you said it 3 times. Slow on the uptake.
I
think maybe he was stuck with all those Chicago brats for the last couple of years. That it kind of clogged in, clogged in his brain.
But I know what people are really waiting to hear us talk about is finally what I knew last year and what a lot of people didn't want to say. It was like the Emperor, Captain, he was naked, but nobody wanted to tell him.
No, I don't like to look at naked.
Davante has been mailing it in since Carr left. What in God's name could he expect from the Raiders when he saw how they treated Carr? I said, Davante, it's not business. You're next. Okay? You cannot say anything but that of course, McDaniels being the coach, but the departure of Carr, Dante checked out. He just was slick about it. And I'm going to say that because some days he would play and some days would not. Look at 2023. He had 2 one-catch games, Detroit and Kansas City. He had 6 games of 50 yards and under catching. That was no accident. Of the 17 games on the schedule, which he played them all, okay, that was part of the pretension. Only 3 100-plus yard games. Okay, that's not what we brought him in for. But what happened is not what he expected. Why did he come? Why did he come to Vegas, Captain? What did he tell you?
He came to Vegas to play with his boy.
Correct.
That didn't happen. And I kept telling people it was a bait and switch. Come in, and here he is. And they had all of the, they were like they had the pictures of them in the front seat of the convertible, frick and frack, and that was for there. But then they showed up the new car contract, which was a one and done, which was already set up to be a one and done, the way they did that. So bait and switch, and they got rid of him. And we know it was coming when they did that contract.
How you like me now? That's all I have to say. How you like it now, all the Kardashians out there? How you like the quarterback situation now?
Yeah, but see, I think this is where you and I have a divergence of opinion.
No, I'm sorry. If you know football, you don't throw your franchise quarterback out. You phase them out. And it can be done and has been done. Nobody in their right mind throws their quarterback out in the trash without a plan to replace it. And I'm talking about somebody that could be. I'm not talking about dumpster diving in other teams' trash cans to find a replacement. You phase them out. You draft somebody, you put them on a bench behind them for a year or so, aka what our dreaded friends, the Chiefs, did with Mahomes. They kept Alex Smith for a year. Did they not? They let him play for the whole year with Mahomes on the bench. And then suddenly Alex Smith went away. And there was Mahomes. That is how good franchises get rid of their franchise quarterbacks. The Raiders, we still experiencing the fallout from McDaniels and what he did to Carr. Davante checked out from that day on. He knew, well, I got this big contract. Got to finish playing. I tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to show up every day. And I might block through the double coverage. I might get separation. Have you seen the film? Have you looked, Captain, at the film on Adams since 2023? There is not a time.
There's not a lot of highlights. Let's put it that way. I would be wasting my time watching film because there's really not a lot to watch. And yes, NBC has permission to come aboard for sure.
And you're looking at it, and Anna, you heard me say this last night, so I'm sorry for repeating it. When you look at the film on Davante, when last time you saw him, a picture of the ball going to him with less than two guys, so close to him that he barely can catch the ball? The word is out around the NFL. You can punk Davante, he ain't gonna do nothing because he's not trying to do anything but get to the end of 2024 so he can get out. You can't. Tell me the last time you saw Davante have yak yards after catch.
After catch. Well, I've had a lot of yak watching him play, and I'll go back to the game 2 last year in Buffalo. The Raiders were up 7-0 because Adams gets a touchdown basically right in my face, and I'm like, fantastic! This game's going to go well, and he disappeared. He disappeared after that.
That's not anything new. The whole league knows. All you have to do is double team, hit, hold, and don't get caught by the refs, and do things to Davante and his route. And he'll say, Uncle. He'll let you do it. When was the last time you saw a wide receiver get punked like that? Remember the guy that got his chain snatched off in Denver?
Yep. Well, I actually will say that this is to me, this is Randy Moss 2.0.
It could be, but no. He studied Randy Moss. He wasn't going to do it the way Randy did. See, Randy just was openly hostile, sneered, and, said all kinds of terrible things about the coach. That's not Davante's way. He's just going to play along with the program. Just enough. He gave us just enough for us to actually think he wanted to be here. You believe?
And he did. No. I since you said it, since his boy left, and you know what? I'll be honest. This is what got me a pink slip from my job, because I had the audacity and honesty to tell my suit. I said, "Hey, I do what is required. I do just enough. I do just enough.
The Madden crowd, the fantasy football crowd, into thinking that I do just enough. This great wide receiver. I mean, this is a guy who made the Pro Bowl 6 years in a row, including one under Carr, when Carr was his quarterback. All right?
Yeah.
We're looking at a guy who's probably thinking, I want to get in the Hall of Fame. That's what is going through his mind. But then I look at guys like Tim Brown and Jerry Rice, and I say to myself, well, wait a minute. They was double covered everywhere they went on the field. They couldn't expect that every week. They were hit. They were held. They were, at the line of scrimmage, bumped. Anything to get them off the route, they still got theirs. That's why they're in the Hall of Fame.
Hey, Peggy, I want to interject a comment because I'm monitoring both you two. And thank you, Joker Raider. That is an excellent comment. And I want to give it to Peggy. That's why I got my Instagram up.
Go ahead.
Joker says there's a lot of film where he was open and didn't get the ball. Being at the games and witnessing it, he's frustrated by the inferior quarterback play, which is true. What top tier receiver wouldn't be? So there is a bit of that where, and that's why you were saying that he was kind of pissed. They said we dangled Carr.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we dangled Carr, and then we did the bait and switch and gave him because the Raiders were all in on I'm gonna throw up when I say this. Tom Brady. That's who they wanted. Mm-hmm. The Raiders were all in. I'm sorry, that name just makes me throw up.
He was never coming here. Where did you hear that bait gossip? No. He was never coming here.
No, Peggy. That's what the tier. That's what McDaniels wanted. That's what he was feeding the front office. Was that we're going to get Brady.
Tried to buy a piece of the Raiders if he was in fact going to play for the Raiders. We know the NFL rules. You can't be an owner and a player. So I knew right away that was bait click nonsense. It was nonsense.
Well,
he wanted to buy a piece of the Raiders. He didn't want to play for them.
Okay. When McDaniels, and I'll be kind of called by his real name, McDaniels, aka McShitnuts, McFired, but he goes by a lot of different McDumbass. When his regime, the regime came in, and he came in with his New England offensive line coach, and he came in with his GM picked with him. It was thought that we're gonna get the old man. Mm-hmm. We're gonna get the old man, and it didn't happen. So we weren't.
I knew we weren't. Brady not trying to hook back up with McDaniels. I mean, you think that was a match made in heaven? No, McDaniels is the ultimate control freak.
Peggy, I didn't say. I said that was what was being fed out there because it was the New England. Remember when he said the Patriot way, and it was no, it was the new Raider way, and it was like it's always been. It was what was fed. That's what they were pushing out there. But they did the bait and switch because Carr was in, and then Carr was out, and they threw in Jimmy Garbagiopolo last year, and then they
destroy us. That wasn't. And people don't understand how deliberate McDaniel was in tearing down our offense. If he had a chance, he would have tore the defense down too. Thank God we got rid of him before he did that. But he completely destroyed the offense from the ground up, starting with shipping Carr out. He wanted to make it over in his own image, Captain.
True.
And his image are guys that do exactly what he said to do. And that's why I put it in front of y'all. He didn't want Davante either. If he had stayed, he'd have found a way to get rid of Davante too. He was already on his way to doing it. He was starving him. Okay?
Pretty much.
He was already on his way. I mean, when you shorten a man's roots like that, you can go down the 2023 stats for Davante. I mean, this guy wasn't catching a ball of 10 yards or more than 10 yards. All his passes was 5 yards there, 7 yards there. They had shortened his roots under the McDaniels system. They were going to starve him out. I know what they were going to do. And I'm saying to everyone who thinks that Davante, wanted to be here, he didn't. But he didn't have a way to get out. Which brings us, Captain, to our discussion about what are you going to do with them. It's only a really short list of teams that can afford them.
And that's why I kind of thought out.
That's why people throwing out all these. A, they've got to be able to afford them. But B, why in the heck would Davante go any place where the quarterback situation isn't good? He might as well stay here. Why would a guy in the twilight of his career,
right off.
Why would he go somewhere where the quarterback situation is unstable? That eliminates a bunch of teams. Okay? You don't want to go
no. Wait, let's go with what you said, that where the quarterback situation is proven. New York Jets, New Orleans Saints, and I'll even throw out there Green Bay Packers under Love, because even though he's rookie-ish, he has high upside and he's into the system. Plus, he can go. He can go back. He can go back to Green Bay, and it's a known thing. I think
but he could
that
end
it's
up
gonna.
with
Here's another one. Here's another, even though we might not like it, he can go to San Francisco. We can do a 1-for-1 him and Ayuk. Yeah, we can do it. Are you still there?
Yeah, for a minute.
Okay.
We're still talking. I'm setting the bounds of where we're speculating who would take him in a trade. Okay, we already talked about the money, but Davante would be a fool to go anywhere where the quarterback situation is unstable. That eliminates any franchise with a rookie quarterback. And I don't care how well Jaden Daniels is doing in Washington. This is his first year. You don't know what he's getting ready to do next. C.J. Stroud burned the barn down. The Ravens put an end to that in the playoffs last year. And ever since, he's been ordinary. Davante would be a fool to go anywhere but, say, to the Rams and play with Matt Stafford, for example. But then you got to look at the wide receiver situation. The Rams, even though the Rams love picking up people mid-season, don't they? They go out and get an OBJ, all right? If they think that they have a chance to get somewhere, they'll go out and pick up somebody. I mean, they got Nakua injured, Cup and stayed on the injury list for the last 2 years. Maybe that's a destination. Can they afford them? Your guess is as good as mine, Captain.
Yeah, the problem with the Rams, and I think that would be a good fit for us as far as that is, it's NFC, and we'd see them. Well, we'd see them in about 2 weeks, which I don't really care.
And then 4 years later, which he'll probably be retired by then.
But exactly. And NFC to me makes best sense because you see him once and then you really don't see him unless you're in a one of those divisional type series. I could see the Rams. I can see Green Bay. I can see New Orleans. I can see the Jets, and it's one of those things where even though
why are you seeing New Orleans with all that wide receiver talent? And oh, by the way, something we skipped over talking about that our audience is talking about. Davante is a little monster in the refrigerator eating. Feed me, feed me, feed me. That's the other element of any franchise that might think of him. All of a sudden, he has to be the focus of your offense.
What about Buffalo?
If they can afford him, they could sure use him.
Yeah, I'd ship him off to Buffalo because we don't see Buffalo until the playoffs. I don't care what we see.
We're Raiders. We're not afraid, except in the division.
No, I'm just saying. Well, it's not that I'm scared. I'm not scared. I'm not scared, but I will say this. I'm not scared, but everybody that comes and has their makeup game against the Raiders, a la Mr. 50 Who, when we get to play him in L.A., seems to have a Hall of Fame day against the Raiders.
We just got to make sure we didn't have a defense then. Now we do. I mean,
we know how to cover them. We know how to cover them. We know how to cover them.
We have to. So what? If we don't shut them down, we deserve what we get. We are Raiders. You got to take your medicine.
And
if you're not going to put a good defense on the field, don't complain when old players come back to haunt you.
Well, and by the way, he has it.
You know,
he doesn't have that no trade. We can send him to wherever we want. I'm saying get the best compensation, and let it. I don't get the best compensation, but he did. He does not have say over where he goes. He doesn't have a no trade, so we can send his ass anywhere. So I'm saying that. And Joker, I thank you. I was just going to get there. Joker's read my mind. Throw him to the Jets, get Hassan Reddick back and something else, and be done with it.
That's
something else.
That's what I want for Christmas.
That's the something else. That's the something else. Get Hassan Reddick and a player, and that was going to be the other person I was talking about because and actually. They got two running backs, and they're not going to be able to feed them both. Okay, the one that starts for him is Breece Hall, but the second guy is looking for a home and would be a damn good running back for us to get. Okay, and again, his name escapes me. I'll take Reddick and that guy, and then we'll do some of those low round pick swapping, and they can have Adams.
Now, something else I wanted to add to this mix of discussion while we're figuring out what to do with Davante. Two things I want to add. First, we can keep him. Let me just put that to the side. The psychology of NFL GMs. I have the Raiders in front of me. They on the phone. I know they got a problem child that they would like to get rid of. Why in the world would I offer them anything?
Yeah, and you can always
think about it from a GM's point of view. These are not people that are choosing to trade a guy. These are people that want to trade a guy, and they want to unload his huge contract. Okay? Now, why in the world?
I get you. I get you, but listen, wait a second. Do you recall that there was a running back that played for the Raiders that's in the Hall of Fame that had an issue with the owner?
Well, yeah. I mean,
what did we do? We kept his ass on pretty much on the bench until the end of his contract, just because we could.
That could, and that's why I said I put that discussion aside. We could keep Davante, but we have to pay that man an awful lot of money if we do. And the rest of the GMs in the NFL know this. They know that if we keep him around, we're going to pay him $35 million next year, right?
Well, I think
on the roster June 1, 2025. We will have to pay him $35 million next year, even if and the cap hit. I can't even say that might stretch out into 2027. The cap hits behind that move. Again, I'm a GM. I know the Raiders are in a bind because nobody wants to make a deal for him. We make the Raiders keep. We might make the Raiders keep him to the end till February. No, make them twist on the ropes. Make them keep him till May. Nobody deal with him until May. Raiders will be desperate. We'll take anything to get him off our hands.
Well, then, okay, then let's go there. What do you think is going to be the compensation and when?
Well, of course, it depends on what kind of GM you're dealing with. If it's me, it better not be somebody to think about me. You might get a third round pick just because I can't really be that mean. I might give you a third round pick for him. That's it. I'm not giving you nothing because I know that you got to dump this guy that does not want to play for you anymore. You know it. I know it. Everybody knows it. Okay? Why would I give you anything? I mean, think about it. All the GMs in this league aren't stupid. Okay? Davante used to be a top wide receiver before he went into the buzzsaw of the Raiders.
Yeah, no, that's true. They used to. I don't think he's all that in the biscuit anymore.
No, because for one thing, and on top of that, he's aging. He ain't no 25-year-old, guys.
He's going to be 32.
32. And next year he'll be 33. I mean, that is a receiver at the end of his career. Okay? You got to look at that too. You think everybody will be all happy to have Davante in there? Not with the ball hog that he is? Come on. If I'm a GM, I might not see you in May.
Well, I actually do think that it's going to be the Jets because they have their own diva themselves, and they want to please him, and he's 40-something years old, and he can use, and they have a malcontent on their hands with Reddick. So I actually think that it's going to be a disgruntled for disgruntled and another player. And that's why I'm hoping it's Reddick for Adams, and we get Reddick and a pick or another player. Like I said, that number 2 running back that actually knows how to run would be good.
All right. And I understand what people are thinking in their mind, but they've got to go into the deep into the psychology of a GM being confronted with this. Okay, the fan base, right, is the only one that's really go get him, go get him, go get him. I even heard Eagles fans today. I'm like, y'all got lost y'all's mind. Think about teams that already have beasts to feed. They're not going to bring in a second beast unless they have a good OC that can manage that situation. But Davante, if Davante can't choose where he goes, okay, no team is going to choose him. They're not going to take a guy this is not a John Elway situation. Well, if Colts draft me, I just won't play football, right? This is not a John Elway situation, folks. Davante,
Joker,
you want to get a guy that wants you. I think that's a prerequisite for thinking about a trade. And you got to have money.
Joker says it's basically going to be to the Jets for a 3rd, for Adams and a 6th.
Now, and I hear all that talk. Let's talk a minute about what if we keep Davante, at least for this year, and then deal him in the offseason if we can. Think about it.
Well, see that, but you just stifled your own comment. If we can,
nobody's going to want him.
Okay, tell me why.
Trade him. What if you can't get what Telesco thinks is value for this man? Don't do what you did with Derek Carr, get 0 for him. Okay, right. Don't be that silly. What if you can't get on the market because there are GMs like me out there? Why should I give you shit? Why should I give you anything for him? You're trying to dump him. You're trying to get rid of him. Why do I have to give you something for somebody you are already trying to get rid of? So there may be GMs out there. What if we can't deal him? What if Telesco's not happy with what he's being offered? Because if I'm a GM, I might give you a 3rd-round pick, in which case you'll hang up the phone on me. Right? For now.
Yeah, but see, there's gotta be a solution for getting rid of a malcontent. And unfortunately, I hate calling Davante a malcontent because it pretty much, he is, and Jacoby Myers said it himself. He said, what's the word? You said it's a distraction.
Well, the other part of it is Davante, in his heart, soul, and mind, has to change his attitude. What do I do to change his attitude and get him to stop mailing it in? Okay? To put his body on the line for me. What do I do as a coach? Well, I promise him that he'll be able to get out at the end of the season. I promise that I'll trade him to the team that he wants to be traded to. There's nothing in the rule book that says I can't do that. I gotta give him a carrot. I gotta some way get this guy to settle down and start contributing to this team as he should. We know we gave you a bad deal. We know McDaniels was a POS. We know that shipping Carr out of here was one of the worst franchise decisions that the Raiders have made in the last 20 years. We know all of that. What I need you to do is to help me win some games, and next year we'll send you where you want to go. How about that? Does that sound like a good deal? Now, if you're a smart GM, I mean, that kind of puts a lot of things on hold. And then what it'll do is smoke out the people that really want Davante, right? It will smoke them out. Because the Raiders are going to keep him? Oh, my God. We want this guy. Let's go get him. The Tennessee Titans, right? the Jacksonville Jaguars. One of our commenters mentioned the Jaguars, right? Captain, can you see it now? Lawrence Adams, touchdown.
Sunshine? Lawrence? Shit.
I mean, let's not look about, let's not, kind of poo-poo, even though I call it the resurrected quarterbacks, Geno Smith, Darnold, and Mayfield.
Yeah.
They have been resurrected. Okay.
And that's why I say
I want the already there in all three places, by the way.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you think that he's gonna have he's gonna try to eke out Mike Evans down here in Tampa?
And then Jefferson up in Minnesota, who just signed a new contract. Yeah. And then, of course, I forgot last night, DJ Metcalf in Seattle.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
that's why
I'm saying there may not be the trading partners that the Raiders think they are. The only hope is that Aaron.
But that's what I'm saying. I think that Mr. Peyote, or whatever the hell he's smoking, is going to go to his GM. And it used to be, and their GM is not their GM is kind of like the GM for the what was it, the Seahawks in the movie Draft Day, the guy that was or not the Seahawks, I can't remember the guy. No, not the guy that was kind of hey, what are we gonna do? That guy. I think maybe it was the Jaguars GM. I can't remember. And
I mean, their GMs like that too. So I mean, right. I like the caricature.
That's why I said get the best deal this year and get rid of the problem. Get it this year. The biggest pick or the biggest player or something that's going to help you now.
Y'all
get it done.
Y'all better pray they're not GMs out there thinking like me that smell the Raiders' desperation. They are not going to give you what you want, and Telesco's not going to accept less than Davante's value.
Okay, which is what? You said a third.
I mean, that's what I would offer for him. Take it or leave it.
and
if you want to get rid of your salary problem, your cap problem, your 2025 on the roster June 1st problem, you got to get rid of him. You have to. If you want him out of your locker room, your offense runs better without him.
Yeah.
And your he's never going to be happy while the quarterback situation is the way it is. Never. And so,
New England Raider Booster Club says this. He said, I disagree, Peggy. The Jets will do what they can. They are in win now situation. And I actually kind of agree with that. Like I said, between Rodgers,
nobody, there's 32 teams. We know that Aaron Rodgers would love to be reunited with Davante.
Yeah.
The question is the Jets. They don't have a track record for making great decisions about anything. Okay?
But that should work in our favor, though.
Right. And what happens? Somebody told me they saw Aaron limping off the field last year. And what happens if Aaron goes down again? You see, that will be their problem at that point.
Exactly. And I can give a flying, flipping foxtrot what happens once we got rid of him.
No. And I have to say, the Jets are probably the way because of Rodgers being there and those two having a connection. And so that is probably the best situation. Jets going to have to find a cap room. And the Jets are going to have to probably redo their offense with Mr. I was head coach for 13 games, Nathan Hackett as the offensive coordinator. It's a different situation in Green Bay, okay?
Yeah.
But like you said, it'd be his problem to bury. And I know people are really wanting to get rid of Davante, but it's between the GMs now, right?
Yeah.
It's a GM to GM. Said you just informed me that he has no veto power. It is a GM to GM transaction. Will the Jets GM offer Telesco enough to say yes? That's where we are now. If we're going to get rid of him. I mean, doesn't matter how much cap room he has. The question is, you got to get the GM to say yes and give us some kind of value, Captain. I don't know what that is in your mind.
Well, well, that's why I said I want Reddick and their backup running back.
They're not going to give that to you. You're too desperate.
I think, if Aaron Rodgers keeps breathing down the necks, Aaron Rodgers is the screaming temper tantrum child in the room. He's like the girl in the original Willy Wonka that turned purple. I want Daddy, go get it for me right now. To Wonka or whatever her name is, whatever her name was, Frangelica, whatever. That's who Aaron Rodgers is. I'm going to hold my breath until I turn blue or smoke my peyote until you get me Adams, and now he's available, and I
see a number necessary, but I also see GMs doing their thing since the player's not involved, right? He just got to go along with the program. And again, that tension, we can just sit Davante down until we get a trade. That's a possibility. It'll probably force Getsy with his slow uptake to figure out how to make this offense flow. Okay, and
that's New England. Mm-hmm. Yeah, Baruch Assault. Thank you. Because I asked for input. Baruch Assault.
I can see where people have become very anxious to get Davante out of here. I can see that. I know it's coming, but let's not demonize Davante. He was tricked. He was lied to. He was the quarterback he came here to play with was sent out, and we done had garbage since then. 3 offensive coordinators. Somebody corrected me. 6 starting quarterbacks in 3 years. That's what Davante had to put up. That's not fair. You can't expect a player to thrive with that kind of nonsense. And oh, by the way, 2 head coaches. How can you expect any player to thrive with that nonsense? He has a right to be disgruntled.
Okay, I'm gonna throw a name at you.
And don't be talking to me about the McDaniels way. You will do as you are told. You will play for the Shield no matter how we treat you. You will be a professional.
Wait a second.
Even though the Raiders are not professional.
I know of a Hall of Fame wide receiver by the last name of Brown, who other than Rich Gannon had trash for quarterbacks, and he thrived on it.
11 different quarterbacks. And they don't make them like that.
He thrived on it. But
they
there you go.
Like
I'm saying, so I get that, but that's what I'm saying. It's all about the friggin' attitude. And Mr. Adams, who wanted a Taco Bell in his house and wanted to be a Raider more than anything else. You know what? Come back, step back into the 70s and 80s, get an attitude check, and start playing for your friggin' money like you deserve it, you piece of crap.
No, who's the piece of crap who sent his quarterback packing and destroyed our offense? The O-line was garbage.
Okay, but
everything. No. I'm not gonna accept. It's 6 of one, half dozen of the other. You're gonna have to accept a stalemate. This is not Davante's fault. Only thing Davante is guilty of is thinking that he could get away with mailing it in for so long.
And he
thought we didn't notice. He thought we didn't notice. I noticed. I was done with him Christmas Day. I was done.
Yeah.
1 catch, 4 yards. Are you kidding? A Pro Bowl wide receiver, 1 catch. He wasn't even trying. Because them all-pro Kansas City corners, they had him pumped that day. He wasn't even trying. They're like, I'm not trying to get hurt. I'm not trying to fight my way and get my, possibly get PIs. That's what Tim Brown used to. Tim Brown was the master at pushing people off on the slide, never getting caught.
Are you talking about business decisions by any chance?
I think we are. He made one when Carr got shipped out. We just didn't know about it. We didn't get the memo. Okay.
Yeah.
He told us everything we wanted to hear. Yes, I'm proud. I want to be here as a Raider. I'm like, what else is he gonna say? Yes, y'all got to trade me right now.
Yeah.
I mean, what else is the man going to say? He was probably in shock. I mean, I came all this way to a team that probably a lot of people called me and told me, don't go to the Raiders, don't go to the Raiders, right? But I came here anyway.
But my buddy's on the Raiders. I'm going to go play with my buddy.
And then his buddy is gone. Do you think there is any motivation? And it wasn't his doing that sent Carr packing, right? It was McDaniels. And what Davante didn't know, McDaniels was going to get rid of him next. He was next. Anybody that doesn't comply with the program must be gone. That's the McDaniels way. You remember that fight that he had with that wide receiver, Brandon Marshall? Do you remember that? Where him and Brandon Marshall, where he kept benching Marshall because Marshall wouldn't run routes the way he wanted them run. Oh, yeah. Back and forth. And then it came to one of the last games of the season. They had to win to get in the playoff. And they're still in the fight. McDaniels, I'm going to bench him. And he did. And they lost. And they didn't make the playoffs that year. That's the kind of guy McDaniels is. He'd have ran Davante out of here anyway. Not his kind of guy. Right? So,
yeah.
And so you have to know this is not a situation of Davante's creation. And I wish people would be a little more even-handed in recognition of the things that the Raiders did. The things that we did, the self-inflicted wounds, the major football errors, A, hiring McDaniels, B, letting McDaniels get rid of Carr. I mean, all of those things have set us to where we are right now. We will rise again, though, won't we, Captain?
I
will rise again.
Hey, I hope so, because I only have so much oxygen that can go in and out of this old decrepit body. Okay.
And Sharif, if you believe anything that a coach, a player, or GM says in a press conference, you need your head examined. This is about influencing. This is about telling people what they want to hear, because if I don't, the NFL will fine me. Okay? You can't get up on them podiums and just say what's on your mind. What did Marshawn Lynch say? I'm just here.
I'm just here so I won't get fined.
That's what those press conferences are about. Don't believe nothing that you hear ever. Watch how they play. Watch the decisions they make. That's what they're really thinking. Anyway, I gotta run. I'm over my time.
I wasn't saying anything. Saying anything.
Watch how they play. You don't need a press conference. Oh, Ryan says he calls it McDipshit.
Oh, that's that. Well,
That's
like I said,
one.
McDipshit, McShitnuts, McDumbass. Yeah. And I just call him McFired. It's easy, McFired.
No, yours just rolls off the tongue so much easier. My son been calling him McDumbass for so long.
Yeah.
He's been saying McDumbass so long. I'm like, why they do that to that man's name? Then I found out why. He was evil. I mean, downright evil. He didn't have no good intentions for nothing that was Raider. Believe it.
Oh, yeah.
Every player was on the chopping block with that man in charge. Anyway, we will talk soon, and not in 2 weeks. We will have to wait 3 weeks.
Yeah, we're gonna have to wait. Yeah. Engagement. For folks that don't know, I will be in spitting distance from Kansas City for 2 weeks, starting Saturday. So all the regular shows, because I'm going to be working nights, 12-hour shifts that are working nights. I don't know what my schedule will be. So if you don't see me, it's not because I don't want to be there. It's that I'm actually working. And by the way, folks, and Peggy knows this, I haven't had a job since September of last year. So I'm going to follow the money that's coming my way for 2 weeks. Okay. Mm-hmm. I will take that gladly. Take that.
Well, thank you so much, everybody who joined in. I know I done got at least some conversation started. And if you're thinking that y'all gonna hurt my feelings, I'm 67 years old. I stopped caring a long time ago what other people think. Anyway, love you all, and we'll see you in 3 weeks.
3 weeks. 3 weeks. Peggy, thanks again, honey.
Bye.
That was, I tell you, if you can't get any sound bites out of that, there you go. And like I said, when Peggy's on, and I'm reading comments. I am reading comments so I can, when I get something on Instagram, I do let them have it over there. And like I said, that's why I tell people, if you're on Instagram, it's easier for me to put your comment up if you're throwing it over there and you're on YouTube, because I can go quick and put a YouTube comment onto the show. But I appreciate everybody that's being here. I know that the New England Raider Booster Club, along with Joker Raider, was there. New England Raider Booster Club, give it Baruch Assault. Thank God. I was like, what was her name? Johnny Maxson. Good to see you, brother. And who else was over there? Mr. February, Savage Nation was also there. D408, Big Silver and Black, thank you as well. These are obviously IG folks, and I'll get the YouTube in a minute. Zaxxon 65, All in Daniels, cool. Angela was here. Reyes Boxing, C Montanez, Tam. All right, Tam baby. I'm glad to see that she came in for a little bit. Butch Montana, Richard Lyon, thank you. And yeah, you take care as well. Joe Morley was here for a little bit. And again, I have Bennett. Bennett was that lockdown corner. I agree with that comment. Noodles FK8, fuck it. I think it's fuck it. B Busto SJR. Laney, thank you for being here as well. Jersey Les 3, Johnny. Yeah, I made a comment. Big E Raider Nation and Jets Green Santa, who was over at 33,000 feet, who's on his way to London for the Jets game. And we were talking a lot of Jets. And it's like, if that's the team, that's the team. I need to see something. I need to see something. Raiderette 1988, Alex Flores, Omar, PA 46. So those are my Instagram folks. Anna Diaz, Mike Sarah, Jack Kenna, Raiderman 81, Ron McClendon checking in from Germany. Thank you there, shipmate. And I'll put that up. Mike Sarah, Peggy is awesome. Sharif was here as well, obviously, and I think Sharif is probably still in here. Ed Winchell, thank you for being here, sir. And like I said, Sharif, she was reading all your stuff. She was reading it. Yeah, I do agree, Raiderman. Tim Brown went over the middle without hesitation, and I'm still saying that I want a deal. I want a deal. Lakers Nation said I'm Jack Black's brother. Hey, I wish I was, because then I wouldn't have to worry about going to Kansas for 2 weeks. He'd be giving me some of that stipend, right? I'm trying to go back. I think everybody. I think I saw Jeff Turner. Yep. The Mokes. Rams trash and have no picks that we want. Well, you know what? A pick is a pick is a pick. It's what you do with the pick. Cool, Kev. Thank you for being here. So I hope I got Swanky Shoe from Twitch. Hello to you. J. Terrence Crump was here just because Peggy was. That's obviously why. What was it? I saw a quick score. The fake Pirates are up 24-20. And I'm watching local on that one because I don't have to worry about Prime. Matt Marinovich, thank you for being here as well. And yeah, JPJ is an improvement. We need another guard. And we need to phase out. Mundungus was here too. Colt Miller needs to be phased out if he doesn't improve. And we saw a little bit of that improvement the last game. And because he's playing without worrying about his shoulder. We pay you X amount of money. A girl band called Veruca Salt? Yeah. I just couldn't remember her name. And it honestly, now Raider Man, I agree and disagree a little bit on this. She defended him to the point of he said he checked out. He said he checked out, or she said he checked out. She said he did the minimum that was required. So I don't think he was defending him there. It was a little bit of an overview. It was real things. He did enough to do his paycheck, but he didn't do enough to earn his paycheck. He got by. He got by. And that's unfortunate. But it's true. And I would still say I want the most you can get for Tay Adams, because he's not doing anything to improve your team. It is a distraction. It is something that we're going to be dealing with. We won last week without him, and without Max. At least we know that Max Max performs. Max performs. Spillane performs. If you're not going to perform, we don't. At least I don't. I don't want you here. I really. I don't want you here. We are at an hour 20. I'm gonna open it up. If you want to come into the studio and talk to me, I know that I know that Joker Raider was trying to say come on in, but when it's the Peggy show, when it's the show that Peggy does, I just unless I hear otherwise, it's like I do comments. If you want to come into the show, I put the link up. If you want to come in via StreamYard, you can't copy and paste. Well, maybe you can copy and paste, but you're going to have to do that. You can come into the show over there via StreamYard. Danos is here. Okay. See what we got. Jets DA and a third or a fourth round pick, and Jets give us Reddick and I'd like that, but I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, that would be the ultimate. That would be the ultimate. All right. And again, and by the way, Thanos, you weren't here when I said this. I said Thanos calls him Tom Fiasco. Peggy's actually I don't want to say a fan, but she does appreciate the Telesco, what he can do. He can't pick coaches. Oh, you're in here twice. I'm gonna kick you on this one. So I got him a second time. So hopefully we'll go from there. I hopefully want to see the damn Falcons beat the fake Pirates. And again, before I get Thanos on, I'm going to mention this again. Denver wants to kick our ass Sunday. Their field is going to resemble the field that was for the 1977 AFC Championship game. There's no logo at midfield. They're going to take that horse off the field because there was no logo on the 50-yard line for that game. There was no logo. Their end zone is going to say, I think, Denver Broncos, like it did in 77. The Orange Crush way of doing things. So, and it's alumni weekend. It's alumni weekend for the Broncos. I'm watching the fake Pirates. They're down at the 30 of Atlanta. Oh my God, that's an easy 15-yard penalty for a personal foul. He's out of bounds. Both feet are high and he gets hit. Come on, dude, that's stupid. So first down plus 15. And Raheem Morris is, I don't know what he's talking about. It's an easy penalty. Yeah, personal foul. Mike C., thank you for being here. Good evening, Raider Twan. Thank you. Asking for no drama this season was a bit much, yeah. I'm going to put that in that. Denver wants to play football, but good. Hey, Anna, it's going to be a tight game. Wild Wild West shit on Telesco and the Raiders last night. Here, wait. Here's my surprise face. I'll say it right now. I don't miss doing the show. I don't. I don't miss doing the show. And I bet you most of that bile was from that millennial fuck that is the Chargers subject matter expert. I'm pretty sure it was. Sharif, you can try to come back. I'm going to try to get my mic. It says you need to connect your mic and cam. So get your mic and camera squared away. Because Mike Sarah, it was here, but not all the things he needed to be here. Fake Pirates are up by 4. And hopefully, Richie Riche, good to see you. Henry Rollins, and what's up with Mayor? I think it's going to be Mayor wants out too. That's all I can think about. Richie Riche, good evening to you as well. We did just talk about the Wild Wild West show, and Mike Sarah, and I know Mike Sarah is on a machine. Oh, as soon as I put him on, Mike, I had you on, Mike. Oh, get his ass, sack his ass. Thank you. Mayor's first kid is on the way. Well, maybe that's the reason why. Oh, thank goodness Mike came back. Mike, I got you on. Do you got comms at least up for so we can hear you?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing tonight, Mike?
Good. I can barely hear you.
You can barely hear me? Up. I didn't kick him. Mike, try to come back. Thanos, give me a mic check. And Mike, Sarah, I'm going to do this because I know that there's some divergent opinions here. Okay, yeah, barely hear my. Oh, okay. Actually, show yesterday was critical of Telesco's drafts from years past. Okay, well, thank you for clarifying that, Richie. I do. I appreciate the clarification. Thanos, you are on. Mike, Sarah, you are on. By the way, gentlemen, I want a clean fight. like I'm the referee. I swear I didn't kick Thanos out either. Maybe
I was on.
Possibly. Mike, what do you got to say, brother?
Oh, I was just going to. I'm at the gym right now, so I can't yell. But I was just talking about last night. I was on the Wild Wild West show, and they were dogging the Raiders pretty good with how bad Telesco is, and how AP isn't ready, and same stuff.
Yeah, and Mike C says that Telesco was overridden a lot. And Richie Riche, I swear I did not push the red stop screen button because Richie says stop clicking the red button. I haven't booted anybody. And Mike, sir, I didn't boot you. Yeah, there you go. I hear you well now. Good.
Yeah,
good.
I think something kicked in, so we're good.
Yeah. Okay. Go ahead.
So anyway. I was just saying that last night on the Wild Wild West show, they were hitting the Raiders pretty hard with how bad Telesco is and how bad AP's not experienced enough to be effective. And I don't know. They just really seemed to really they were Jaxus on there trying to defend him, but he didn't have much of a chance. So
yeah. And Richie's here, so and if Richie wants to, like I said, I'm sure that most of it was probably from what do you call it? The kid that thinks he knows about the Chargers.
Yeah. We went back and forth on the chat. It was comical.
Okay, and Richie says he's a new head coach and fair down. Okay, that's true. And Richie, if you don't want airtime, I will at least do the comments. So, Mike, go ahead.
No, I agree. I agree with what he's saying with AP. I don't think, obviously he has made mistakes. We all know that.
Right.
You'd be blind. You'd be lying if you said he didn't. So I give him that.
Yeah.
I don't know about Telesco in the draft. Here's the thing about Telesco in the draft. So he drafts the best tight end available, and he's already shown on the field that he is the best tight end, rookie tight end. He can block, he can catch, he can even run the ball. And then they got Jackson Power Johnson.
Yes.
Second round, and he's a mauler. They got DJ Glaze in the third round, and DJ Glaze has outplayed Mumford.
Mumford. Yes, he has.
He has. Easily has outplayed him. Now, and I'm not saying the whole thing, the offensive line definitely is not fixed yet. And I think, like you said, it's Colton Miller is usually the anchor of that line, and he's having a rough time. I don't know if it's his shoulder, or what, but you can just tell he's struggling.
He doesn't want to engage that shoulder, and he's I don't say he's babying it, but he's whichever one it is, if it's the right or the left, that one I don't know, but he's favoring it. That's the term. He's favoring the shoulder that was hurt, but he played a little bit more to our liking the last game.
Yeah. Well, he did get beat twice by Myles Garrett, but who doesn't? So
yeah, that's why he's a Pro Bowler.
Exactly. So you're going to lose those battles every once in a while. But and I know Richie made a point about the Raiders on playing the Broncos. He said that they're going to get sacks. He predicted, I think he said at least, and I might be wrong, Richie, so correct me if I am, but I think he said at least 5 sacks. Wouldn't be surprised if it's 6 sacks. Mm-hmm. So, but you know what?
That wouldn't surprise me either.
I was going to say I wouldn't argue with him about that at all. That one I believe, because our O-line is not good, and I am supporting Minshew. I mean, he got to, but doesn't he seem to? I don't know if you watch this. He'll go back in the pocket, and then he'll try to step up into a mess of He just steps up into the pocket where all the traffic's at.
Right.
It's just I don't know how he does it, or why he does it, I should say, but he always has that same motion back and forth inside the pocket, and I think he plays better when he at least works his way outside of the pocket and tries to make a play happen that way.
Right.
But I don't know.
And he did more of that this last game. He did more of that this last game, where he was doing more rolling out. He was doing more naked rollouts because Getsy, like Peggy was saying, Getsy finally figured it out to use him the way that he should be, and he's using them correctly.
Yeah, and it wasn't a great seeing those young receivers make plays. And then you got Davante Adams doing what he does so well, which is usually bitching.
Thank you. I was gonna say I was waiting for what is it? And it's funny, as soon as you mention his name, a Taco Bell commercial comes on with him on it. I mean, I swear, it was karma. It was karma.
He's one of those guys that even when he's talking normal, you can tell he's bitching. He's bitching about something. Even when he's in there doing interviews, he's not blatantly bitching, but you can just tell in the tone of his voice, he's never happy.
Yeah.
So I say, you know what? I say keep him. Hold on to him until you can get somebody for him. I mean, the worst you could do is just sit on the bench or not play. He's not going to play anyway. Kind of like they did with Carr. And hopefully you get somebody for him eventually.
Yeah, but I want him gone because it's a distraction. It's the distraction, and honestly, I'll take the best offer that makes sense now to get rid of the distraction. I mean, maybe you can hold on and get more later on, but honestly, I don't think it's going to be that much more later on. I think you're going to have to tell, okay, New York Jets, your boy wants him so bad,
Yeah.
That what do you want for him? And by the way, Mike C, I wanted Fuaga. I wanted Fuaga number 1, but Bowers was still on the board, and Bowers was the best player there. I'm not gonna belabor that. We got the best player at that spot at number 13. I think that's what our pick was. We got the best player.
And what did Bowers do on Sunday? He blocked. He caught like 2 passes.
Yeah.
He did drop one. He did drop an easy pass, but that happens. But he blocked, and he blocked well, and they got 152 yards on the ground. So I'm not going to complain about that.
Yeah. And apparently I'm wrong. That Sid Meier apparently has, like, quote unquote, and it was personal. It's family issues. / maybe his son is up. Maybe there's problems with the pregnancy. And I'm reading into it that he has a kid on the way, and that there are issues with the family, and he needed to be there. If that's true, I get it. But you know what? If that's the reason why, then say that, because otherwise it looks very mysterious. It looks bad.
Well, and maybe he's one of the bad decision people that AP was talking about, but I don't see that, because I don't see Meier dogging it. I think he always plays hard. I don't see him not trying.
Yes.
So, but Jack Jones.
I think we need to use Meier and Bowers in that 2 tight end set. Like I said, we got Casper and Christensen in the modern era. Use them in the modern era.
Hey,
that's what
I'll tell you what. Harrison Bryant is playing just as good as Meier is. So and he played great. He blocked again, like he was one of our main blockers, our other tight end.
Yeah, the kid that we got from the Browns, I can't remember his name.
I think Harrison Bryant, I think.
Bryant. Thank you. And again, he played well. And I think Schenker was out there, and they re-signed Fotheringham, who we picked off of somebody's practice squad to throw him on our squad. So we've got a bunch of tight ends on the roster. Yeah, and thank you, Richie. That's exactly what I'm saying. It's like, use them in a 12 personnel set. Yes, use them both well.
Well, with the whole thing with Michael Meier is I hope it is professional and not personal while he's out. Yes. Because I don't want to see anything bad happen to his family. My God, that's horrible. Right.
They said it was personal, familial reasons, which if you read all the tea leaves, I can see. So, and by the way, Richie, I agree. I think that the game on Sunday, and I'm not doing a prediction. I missed the show yesterday for NFL Nation Live. I was not feeling well, and I couldn't do it. So I actually I literally slept through the show. Because my body clock was screwed up from FU American Airlines, and then I something that didn't agree with me. I took some meds for it, and I slept through the NFL Nation Live show. And I don't normally, you guys know this, I don't normally miss shows for stuff like that. So there was a reason why. So I'm very glad that I could have been there. I'm very sad that I wasn't there. But I still think that it's going to be a very tight game between the Broncos, who really want to beat us, and us. I really think it's going to be like that. Richie was in the comments. Thank you. I wanted to be there, but unfortunately I wasn't. But it's gonna be a tight game. I think Richie. Obviously the Raiders can win.
I think Richie predicted 27-14, something like that. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Broncos?
And then and then I called Broncos 28-6. So I don't have a lot of confidence in this game coming up.
Oh, so you think it's going to be even worse than what Richie has? Okay.
Yeah. I'm terrible, but that's just how I feel. I just don't think they're going to be ready.
No, It's not terrible if that's what you think. That's why I said be
Well,
real with it. Like I said, I don't know. I
I mean,
will agree with this. Whoever
this-
screws up less is going to win.
Yeah. Well, the Davante Adams thing is a distraction, no matter what anybody says. It's affecting the team. I think Denver's due for a win because it's been
They
like
are.
8 times in a row, something like that. So they're definitely due.
It's
At
either
home,
8 or
it's going to be a
10.
tough one.
Yeah, it's either
Yeah.
8 or 10.
Yeah. So I don't know. I hope I'm wrong.
Kenna says we win. I hope you're right, Jack Kenna. And Richie says I think we win for the first time. And like I said, they're gonna win eventually. And that's why. And Richie, I already said that they made the field, the 1977 Mile High Field, with no logo at midfield. Denver and Broncos in the end zone, like it was in '77 for the AFC Championship game. You're pulling out all the stops for alumni weekend. I think it's going to, like most of the games, it's going to be like a field goal game because that's the way most of the games are.
Yeah. We'll see.
Yeah, but you have it as a slaughter.
And I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I just have a bad feeling about this one, but I have a bad feeling. I had a bad feeling about Cleveland too, so I was wrong on that.
Yeah, well, I hope you're wrong again. Obviously.
Yeah, and people are like, how can you be a true Raider fan if you're going against your team? I'm being honest.
Bullshit. That's bullshit. You can be a true Raider fan. You can be a true Raider fan and still think, I don't think we're going to do it this week. I mean, because if you are a rah-rah cheerleader and not have any forethought, that's, and one thing I do like about Richie Ricci is that when the Broncos were horrible, he would say they were horrible. When the Broncos had issues, like I said, Richie Ricci was on point, was saying that, Bo Nix is going to be an issue because being Bo Nix. And all these other people are like, oh man, he's the second coming of Elway, whatever, bullshit. He's real about it. He's real about it. So I appreciate Richie being a realist and not being somebody that is so caught up with being a rah-rah cheerleader. We'll see.
No, yeah.
But,
no,
I hear the weight slamming, so I know you were doing your stuff. So
yeah, I'm just on the elliptical right now, but not just on the elliptical, moving back and forth on that thing. So I didn't want to be bouncing on the camera. So.
Oh yeah, no, that's cool. And at least the sound is good.
Yeah, it is. It's great. Yeah, but we'll see. And I don't know if you heard about AP. He just got hit by the NCAA for violations for recruiting, I think during the COVID year.
Okay. Well, everybody do some risque shit during the COVID year?
Oh, I know. I'm just saying that he got hit for that. It was on ESPN, so it's been a bad week for him.
Yeah. Well,
so hopefully he'll come out.
As long as he doesn't like any more tweets.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't understand that. I don't think he did. I mean, how do they really know that was him that liked that tweet? I don't understand that.
Because it was a certified, his certified, what do you call it, with his check mark or whatever. It was his certified.
People hack things all the time.
Well,
I don't believe it was him.
He was hacked though. He didn't come out and say I was hacked. So blue check.
Well, he's not. Yeah. Here's the thing, though. I mean, is he really going to throw Davante under the bus for doing it? I don't think he would do that. I don't think he's the kind of guy that would throw his player under the bus like that.
Yeah. It's his verified blue check account. So there you go. Well, we'll see. Hey, Mike. Again, I appreciate you coming on, brother.
All right. Sounds good. We will catch up with you.
Remember,
Are you going?
Do another mile for me.
Yeah, will do.
All right, brother. You take care.
All
And
right.
you know you're welcome anytime.
Sounds good. Have a good
All
one.
right. Take care. All right. That was Mike Sarah, man. Doing extra work for me, literally. If you're on Instagram, thank you for being there. I see Silver and Black Radio Podcast is there. Lunatic Father of 8 is there. Melissa Shu is over there. I'm watching, like I said, which is a tie game, 27-27 between the fake Pirates and the Falcons. Remember, we got them both this year. We got the fake Pirates at near the end of in December, the first part of December. And we have the Atlanta on a Monday night game. So, and Jack, I agree. Palomalo did play well. Okay. And he's injured. So hopefully his injury, because he was on the injured list. I'll see what we got. Ozzy from Las Vegas Raiders Live. Salute to you. Thank you. And so now is this trade was months ago and we're just finding out about it? According to Sharif, yes. Oh yeah, of course, Sharif. He's saying that either Tampa Bay or Atlanta is going to win the South. Yeah, they're 3-1 and 2-2. New Orleans is a shaky 2-2. I just want to go into New Orleans and whoop up on the Saints. I want to come to Tampa and beat the fake Pirates because I live here. It's a selfish reason. It's a selfish reason. So, I don't know. I like this. So don't do him any favors. I don't care where he goes. I want the best deal for the Raiders. I want the best deal for the Raiders. I want to see what picks or players we get. And Avatar, hey, man, I haven't seen you in forever, brother. Welcome to the chat as well. Avatar, for my days of Wild Wild West. It's good seeing you. Avatar, I'm on tonight. I'm not going to be here for about 2 weeks. I will be working mids, or I should say, like evenings. We in the military we call it mids. Well, Avatar, you were military. I'm working mids for 2 weeks, starting Saturday in Kansas. So I'm not going to be doing shows. So I'm sorry, but I gotta make money. Kenny, yeah, I know. Yeah, New England Raider boosters and 20 minutes from that shithole in Foxborough. Yeah. Anyway, folks, if you want to come in, you can do it quickly. I do want to thank everybody that's been here. Mike C, you can send me a basically graveyard, yeah, but it's a 12-hour shift. Graveyard is usually like an 8-hour overnight, but in the military it's mid watch. So I'll be working the nights for the military in Kansas for 2 weeks, but I'm getting paid. What Ozzy say? Yeah. Mike C, hit me up on Instagram and I'll try to answer any questions. I do know that I still have one ticket available, front row next to me in Tampa. You can win one ticket. It's only one because I got to use the other two. So I had to buy 3. It's a raffle for one ticket, front row in Tampa. And it's like it's not right behind the Raiders bench. It's astride the Raiders bench. It's on the 30-yard line or so, where the bench is over here to your left. The fake pirate ship is over there to the right. You can see the field. It's like on the 30 to 25-yard line ish. You got a good view of the game. I've sat there before. Yeah, Richie. Hey, same to you as well. Head out to you as well. Best to you and the family. especially if you come back again, Richie. Again, well, if you're coming back in the next 2 weeks, I won't be here. I'll be in Kansas. But I hope to see you and the kids again. I say this to you, Richie. Miss you, Richie. I miss Alex, Richie. And that's all I'm going to say. I miss you, Richie. I miss Alex. And good night. Take care of yourself. Oh, the scam tickets. Can't believe some people thought that. But oh yeah. This guy thought I was a scammer and a money grabber and all this other shit. Fuck you. The guy has issues because he apparently he does have chemo for his. Oh, I do miss you, Avatar. I'm sorry, and I miss Avatar. I apologize. I do miss the people from the Wild Wild West that would come in that were cool. You were cool. Biggie Bronco can suck from under my balls. I said it. Biggie Bronco can suck from under my balls. But Avatar, yeah, I do miss you, brother. Because you're Navy. Good night again. Good night to Richie. And again, if you want to get in on a possibility of a front row ticket with me in Tampa, hit up Facebook. I think there's about 40 spots left. There's about 40 spots left. So I gotta get them out. That's true. We are shipmates. We are shipmates, and that from the definite term of being a shipmate. So unless you want to come in, I'm probably going to cut the show in a little bit. But I appreciate. Remember, like it, share it up, and we'll see you for more shows. I will be doing. I have to do the shows for the network, but there'll be reruns unless I hear otherwise. I will be pushing content on the Northeast Streaming Sports, the Roku, because I got to, and it would just be a rerun. It'd be a rerun on Facebook. It'd be a rerun on YouTube. We'll see. But until I know what my schedule was, no, I'm not walking the plank. Fuck you, Kenna. I'm getting paid. Hey, remember, Kenna, you work for, and I'm very proud to say this, Jack Kenna works for USAA, the people that I'm dealing with for my insurance. Okay, and good night to you as well, Avatar. Good to see you. I'm getting paid, and it's the first time in over a year that I'm getting some income in. So, yeah. In fact, today I went to the DMV and I changed my CDL license so that I don't need to have my my physical with me every year. It's just a regular CDL that I don't need to use to have a physical. If I get a job where I need a physical, I'll be more than happy to get one. But that's it. So, folks, I thank you for being here. If you want, like I said, Wild Wild West will be going on Wednesdays on this channel. NFL Nation Live. If I don't know whether it was simulcast. I don't think it was simulcast because I think I have to do that. If I can, I will push it so that you will see NFL Nation Live, 6 o'clock Eastern, 3 o'clock Pacific. If not, just go to NFL Nation Live. Go to NFL Nation Live on YouTube and watch it there. It'll be on my channel when I'm there. Good night to you as well, New England Raider boosters. And again, thank you, Avatar. And again, I'm doing a job, getting paid. 12 on, 12 off, and getting some money. And yeah, Anna Diaz said, "Hey, Kenneth Clark, you came in at the very end. I'm doing good. What do you think about the base?" I was watching, and who won tonight between? Actually, I see that. Let's see here. I wanted to see who the Phillies were playing. I guess Sports Center's on. Okay, did the Mets win? Or did the Brewers win? I don't know, because I know the Phillies play them. They play that winner. The Mets. So the Mets won, okay. And the Mets are going to be hard to beat because the Mets are like, remember, the Dodgers got the Padres, and the Padres are a tough out for the Dodgers. The Phillies get the Mets, and the Mets are going to be a tough series too. So it's gonna be hard. And can the Phillies make it to the NLCS? Yes, but it's going to be a lot harder playing the Mets. It's going to be a lot harder playing the Mets, and I will say that right now. I'm watching the Sports Center Top 10. Thank you for telling me that the Mets won, so at least I know. Mike C, let's go, Dodge. Mike, like I said, you can be. I'm just saying, I want my Phillies to be in the World Series because I'm a Phillies fan. I'm a Phillies fan. You guys know that. I'm a Phillies fan. So you guys can do whatever you want. Okay. There's the it's a 3-run homer. Oh, by the panda. Or not the panda, but the polar bear. So I guess that's how they won, 3-2. Okay, I just saw that they had at least 3 runs. Dodgers, Phillies in the NLCS. Thank you, Brian. I hope it's true. And obviously, I want my Phillies to win. I'm being honest. So again, until then, until I come back from Kansas, which will be for the Sunday Rams game, I should be back at my house on the 20th. Is that it? The 20th? Oh, Mike, you were from Philly as a kid. Oh my goodness, Mikey, where'd you go wrong, brother? And Kenna, of course, Kenna's rooting for Satan himself. Not really. But if they had a baseball team, you'd root for them against the Doyers. Take care. Ed Winchell, thank you for being here. Thank you, everybody, for being here. Remember, I'll be back in 2 weeks. If my schedule permits, I'll do a show, but it'll be earlier. So it won't be at the normal time. Brian says Dodgers and Detroit. That would be a good series. It would be the one I would want to see, but you got that. Kenneth Clark, thanks for telling me that. Everybody, take care. We will see you for the next show, whenever it will be. Take care, everybody. Always enjoy having you on here.